Hello, and welcome to this video where we're going to review the weather for the rest of May and talk about the Memorial Day weekend, which turned out to be rather cloud-filled for the most part. So we'll talk about all that. And before I get started, I didn't say it last time and I probably forgot, but Memorial Day weekend obviously is a time to remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So anyway, and hopefully all of you had a decent weekend. At least it didn't rain entirely the whole weekend, but there were spot showers from time to time, particularly on Saturday. And then Sunday was rather cloud-filled. So, again, this is what the skies look like. Did have pretty-looking skies, though. Nice blue sky in between the clouds. This is what it looked like on Saturday when the clouds kind of broke later on in the day. But we did have some pretty large-looking clouds. And then toward the early evening hours, we had some showers develop. And you could see some of those showers here, some of the clouds and the showers that were falling from those clouds on Saturday. But we did get a reward. We got a beautiful rainbow. I got some nice pictures of the rainbow here. Really beautiful rainbow. And just again, those clouds. This is at the lake. You see, you got a beautiful rainbow there, and then an even better look at another rainbow that was on an offshore shower Saturday evening. This was beautiful too. Look at that. Really did have some pretty looking clouds, even though we did have a lot of clouds. And then Sunday, we had even more clouds. So the sky on Sunday, bigger clouds, and just taking up most of the sky on Sunday. Some breaks here and there, but plenty of clouds, obviously. And it wasn't until we got to Memorial Day itself that we had mostly sunny to partly sunny skies. It was mostly sunny in the morning, but then we had a cumulus buildup toward the afternoon. But it was the only day for me to go hiking, and I did do a little hike in the Pine Barrens at Edgewood Preserve on that day. I did not take a video, but again, plenty of clouds did wind up developing even on Monday as well. All 3 days were cool. It was a comfortable, low humidity kind of deal. We'll go and we'll look at what the weather was like on those days. I'll actually go back. I got to find the one for Saturday here. So let's see, Saturday. Find the one for Saturday. That's the one we got to do. So here we go. So here's the one for Saturday. So Saturday we had a high of 67 and a low of 49. Still 4 degrees below normal, but it was pleasant with low humidity. And then for Sunday we had a high of 68 and a low of 51. That's still 2 degrees below normal for the day. And again, we're all going over the numbers at iSlip. All right. And then for Monday, we had a high of 73 at a low of 50. So Monday we're actually 2 degrees above normal on the high. The low of 50 was still 4 degrees below normal. Around average for the day. All right. And then as far as today has gone, today was significantly warmer with a high of 75 and a low of 51. So 4 degrees above normal for the high, and the low of 51 was still 3 degrees below normal, putting us right at average for the day. Looking at we'll go ahead and we'll review the weather on here too as well. Again, taking a look at what it was like at iSlip. We'll go to the 3-day history. This may not actually cover Saturday. Actually, no, it does. All right, so Saturday was the 24th. All right, so it does cover some of that. And you can see here, again, very comfortable conditions that night. 40s. It was Saturday night. Was really nice and cool. Only in the 40s. It was really nice and nice low dew points. And then Sunday was also fairly cool. We had a lot of clouds around. See that? We're only in the 60s. Basically only the 60s that day. Very cool. Similar to Saturday with the air mass, northwest wind, kind of breezy. And then as we went into Sunday night, temperatures dropped not quite as low as Saturday in the 50s, so it wasn't quite as cool. We had a lighter northwest wind. I just wish I could go back a little more. Is there any way to bring this to 5-day? I guess I can't. But anyway, and then we saw much warmer conditions as we headed into Monday. All right, and we still had a little bit of a light wind. I'm curious to see if there was any radiational cooling any of those nights in West Hampton. I'll have to check. But we still had a relatively light wind. And then as we went into Monday, The 26th, the temperatures were warmer. We had a very light north winds that eventually turned to the south. And you can see it was we had scattered clouds, but then toward later in the afternoon, it got more like partly sunny. But it's still fairly comfortable. You notice the dew points pretty low, even despite the wind shifting to the south. And then today, we had a lot of cirrus around, a lot of cirrus. We actually started with a northwest wind today, but it did become south by noon. We'll go ahead and we'll look at West Hampton and see if there was actually any neat radiational cooling over there. I'm not sure if there was. Actually, there is a 7-day. I could click that. Okay, we wanted to look at Saturday, too, as well. I'm just kind of curious about the lows for West Hampton. West Hampton got down to 41 by Sunday morning. All right, that's pretty chilly. And then, so they did have radiational cooling. And also, let's see, and then for Sunday night, let's see what it got down to on Sunday night. Did it also get down to 41 as well? No, I don't think it did. Let's look at Sunday night here. Got down to 40. No, that's it. Got down to 49. No, hold on. We're not done yet. Hold on. Let's see. It got down to 45. I know I should have. I was just curious about. Normally, I don't review every single day, but it was kind of remarkable how cool it got at night, I guess you could say. But Saturday was really a very cool day. Saturday was really nice and cool. If I go back onto the 7th day, you'll see. Look at Saturday, the 24th. It was really. That day we were only in the mid to upper 60s. Yeah, and then it dropped down to the 50s at night. Not 40s, 50s. I was looking at the dew points when I was looking at that. But very comfortable overall. Very comfortable, nice, comfortable stretch of weather, although there were a lot of clouds around. It was nice. Because pretty soon we're going to be dealing with the heat and the humidity, and that's not going to be too much fun. So as far as today's highs go, mid-70s and much of Long Island, except right on the South Shore or the East End. And then, mid-70s pretty much everywhere. Same for Jersey as well. We got into the mid-70s as well. So a little bit above normal today. But the lows, again, we got down to 41 again at West Hampton. So West Hampton's been getting down to 41 consistently, it seems like, every night. And lows everywhere else were in the low 50s. Of course, here's the funny thing about it. Well, I had to have my air conditioner on last night because that alley was not going below the low to mid-60s. It was unbelievable. I had to have the air conditioner on. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's a heat island. See, LaGuardia and Central Park were at 57. That's what I have in my alley. It's like an urban heat island. Also cooled off in the Pine Barrens and west of the Toms River too. So, well, it must be nice to live somewhere where the temperature's dropping to the low 40s and you can turn off the air conditioner. I gotta have that thing going constantly. Speaking of which, we'll go look at our current temperatures, and temperatures are around 60 degrees, so not quite as cool tonight with the cloud cover, and it was a fairly cloud-filled day today. I mean, a lot of, like a high overcast, a high to mid-overcast. There really wasn't a whole lot of sun except in the morning. 61, and the dew points feel like they've come. It's still fairly low. 61 in the alley, it's nearly 65 degrees, so 5 degrees above what it should be. Obviously, this is what happens. You know the deal with that. And this was the sunset last night too. So nice, clear sunset there. Not a lot of haze. We'll have to see if we'll have to talk about that too, because we have a lot of fires going on in Canada that nobody's talking about as well. So a lot of clouds today. Here's the satellite. You can see plenty of clouds. We'll go to the MODIS first. We'll show you the MODIS. We'll go back to Saturday again. You can see all the clouds that were over us on Saturday. Especially in the morning, there was more sun, but toward the afternoon you had bigger clouds and then those scattered showers. And then Sunday was rather cloud-filled. We had even more clouds that day. And then yesterday we started off clear, but the clouds popped up more toward the afternoon. But you could actually see the sea breeze front. Actually, if you were in, matter of fact, the sea breeze front looks like it made better progress in New Jersey and actually pushed the clouds west of the Parkway. If you were in Jersey, but for Long Island, we had a lot of the cumulus popping up here. You can see again. There's that boundary again, west of the Parkway. That's where all the clouds were. So if you were east of the Parkway, you had fairly clear skies. Interestingly enough, with an east wind, I guess. So that was interesting for yesterday. But then today, we're stuck in a pretty much high to mid overcast. It's a very faint sun. So it's pretty much cloudy today. More clouds than everybody was expecting, obviously. So going back to the satellite, we'll take this to the CONUS view. Actually, I'll go up to the 72 frame. So here's the 72 frame CONUS view. And I probably shouldn't have closed that modus down because we're going to have to come back to it later. You can see here's the all the this is this next lumbering low pressure system. Here we go again with another lumbering low pressure system that's going to bring us a stretch of unsettled weather. So I hope you enjoyed the past 3 days because now we're back in the rainy misery. Though it won't be raining all the time. It's going to be a chance of showers for the next 2 to 3 days at least. I do want to show the north. Can we do the? I don't know if this is going to show Canada at all up here. Yeah, you can see a lot of wildfires going here. A little bit. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to see if we can go to the Canada northern one. See if it shows what's going on up there because there is a huge plume of smoke. Yeah, look at that big plume of smoke right there. Look at that big plume of smoke right there coming off. It looks like Saskatchewan and Manitoba province. So look at that thick smoke over Hudson Bay. Very thick smoke. So nobody's talking about this, but this is the kind of stuff that if the setup is right, we're going to have a repeat of those orange skies. I'm sure they're having them when we look at, if we pull this out and we go up into the Hudson Bay area here, like some of these areas here. I'm sure they're reporting smoke, or let's see if we can get an actual, most of these are not actual airports, unfortunately. So without an actual airport observation, it's not really going to show the smoke. But it's been very hot over here, too, as well. So we can go maybe over here, maybe get some actual observations here from an actual airport, which with visibility, it may look like a lot of smoke. Churchill would have an airport. So it just says broken sky. It doesn't say anything about smoke being reported. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the visibility dropped down quite a bit. So that smoke is staying way up in Canada because of the way the jet stream configuration is. But they've had a lot of heat up there. If we go look at the high temperatures, let's see what they've had. Let's see. Nothing too terrible. All right. I mean, they had heat earlier, but it's been dry. They haven't had rain. So that's the main thing. And it doesn't look like that's going to be changing anytime soon. So let's go and so you get an idea. Yes, there is some severe weather in the south. They've had a lot of flooding in Oklahoma and all that stuff. But let's go to the weather map now and show you what we have here. And you'll see here that we have a lot of areas and chances of precipitation in the lower 48 east of the Rockies. There's that low pressure system again. Lumbering low pressure system, heavy rain, flooding possible in a lot of those areas. If we go to our day 3 to 7 here, as far as our QPF goes, let's go to that. We'll do we can do days 1 through 3, and you can see all the QPF that's going to be falling mainly to our south. But we're going to start getting into that on the days 1 through 5. You can see, look at this, another perhaps in New Jersey, another maybe 2 or 3 inches of rain, perhaps over our area, 1 inch to 2 inches. So it looks like the heavier rain will tend to be more to the south. You can see there isn't much falling in where those fires are burning in Canada. So that's not good at all. Hurricane Center doesn't have anything posted, but I've heard people talking about a possible depression going on that will have to be watched in the Gulf. Let me pull up the MODIS here for a moment. Maybe we can find it on the MODIS. That would be even better. So let's, I think it's, I think it would be this area right here. So this is the fires, by the way, in Canada. Again, look at this. These are the fires here. It's a lot of smoke right there. So it's from Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Nobody's talking about it. It's drifting over Hudson Bay. It's probably It's staying well to the north right now, but we may have to watch this in the future because we may be dealing with that eventually. So here's our next lumbering low pressure system bringing us rain chances. And I originally looked like that high was going to be stronger and keep tomorrow mostly dry, but now, unfortunately, it's looking more and more like we're seeing increasing rain chances for tomorrow. So let's shift this over to the European. And we'll look at, 18C European. It's fine. So that high kind of moves away. We got this lumbering low. You can see it trying to stir up a fight, the dry air a little bit, but eventually we have rain moving in. The question is, how early will it be in the afternoon? The timing of it. Will it impact your evening rush hour? Probably. And the question is when the heaviest part of this comes. So you can see, you got this lumbering low pressure system. You get one wave of rain Wednesday night into early Thursday, and then another low forms, and that low brings us some heavier rain Friday night into Saturday morning. You can see that another low forms along that front there. And then that kind of just takes its sweet time, and again, it kind of hangs back a little bit, which means Saturday we'll still have rain chances, and it won't really be until Sunday, when we get into June, that we'll finally have drier weather take hold. But as far as May, it's ending on a wet note. Again, very wet month. It's been summertime. In some areas, it's been the all-time wettest May that we've had on record. And if we look at the upper air, again, you'll see that the trough that forms this, again, you can see that ridging in Canada, but you can see there's the trough, pretty deep trough, especially Saturday. That's going to bring in quite cool air as well. And then that kind of pulls out. And then as we get into June, which we'll talk about when we do the monthly, at the end of May review, we'll talk about how June is going to turn out. But we've got basically two systems to watch. The stronger one is going to be Friday night into Saturday. All right. So it's pretty much what we're looking at right now. All right. Let's go and take a closer look. We'll go to the HRRR. We'll deal with this first system first. And you can see here that rain, again, tomorrow, it's kind of like putting a wall up. The dry air is trying to hold it back, but the rain's probably going to come in by 4 or 3 in the afternoon. First be kind of light, and then it's going to be kind of steady and getting heavier as the evening goes on. So it's going to be a rainy afternoon and evening tomorrow, and then that kind of moves away, and then for Thursday we just have the chance of a scattered shower. All right, I'll show you how the air masses change here in this as well. So I'm going to actually go to the you continue to use this. So the dew point, you'll see that the humidity is going to be coming up because this rain is sort of associated with a warm front. So you can see tomorrow we got an east wind. It's going to be raw, and then Thursday we get more of a west wind, and you'll see the dew points kind of warm up. Thursday could wind up being warm, especially if you're inland, and it also depends if the sun tries to come out or not, because that's when we're in the warm sector. All right. As far as tonight goes, temperatures won't drop as much as they have the past couple of nights, mid-50s, and again, my alley, without a stiff wind, that alley is just not going to cool off. And then for tomorrow, it's still showing temperatures reaching, you see that it's trying to show maybe there'll be a little more sunshine over Long Island. Maybe we break 70 tomorrow. We'll probably get up into the low 70s. But off to the southwest, you see where the rain is, it's cooler. And then those temperatures don't drop all that much tomorrow night, probably upper 50s. And then for Thursday, it's actually showing temperatures I think it might be underestimating its temperatures a little bit. In Jersey, I think it could be 75 to 80. I think for Long Island, we'll probably have 70s. If the sun peaks out by the afternoon or not, that is the question here at this point. Now, we'll show you how much rain this is predicting for this first round. It's just the HRRR, and even this first round could give us around an inch of rain, after half to 1 inch of rain, more off to the south and west. Southern New Jersey could see 2 inches just from this first wave of rain that we're getting. This is, again, the HRRR model that we're looking at. We will look at some other models as well. So let's go and do that. We'll go to the NAM, and I don't have enough of the 0Z NAM, unfortunately. It only goes out 20 hours. We can use what we've got, but I think the NAM is pretty much in agreement here with the HRRR. Yeah, it only goes up that far, which is kind of. But you can see here the NAM kind of bringing the rain in. Rainy tomorrow night, and heavier rain actually later on, like 10 o'clock. There, it's actually trying to develop a little low pressure system there, which wouldn't surprise me at this point. And then that moves away, and you get your break with just some scattered showers of thunderstorms on Thursday. Now the NAM total accumulated precip would be NAM's a little higher, of course, giving us more like 1 to 1.5 inches. And if you're in Jersey, south of from Ocean County on south, with 2 inches plus, perhaps some areas could even see 3 inches of rain from this. This is what the NAM is showing. So NAM is a little more robust with the moisture. All right. Speaking of moisture, I want to go back to this. I want to go back to the I don't think we have that feature on the European. Let me see if we do. Don't know if we do. We do. Okay. So I want to show you the moisture here. The atmosphere is another thing that I wanted to show you. So you can see here the moisture that we're dealing with. So as we get into tomorrow, you see those dark rains. That's why it's going to be some decent rain. Then we get some drying on Thursday. And then here comes that second wave. Friday to Saturday is that low. And that's a powerful low, too, that's going to develop. And that'll kick up the winds as well. Now that we've done all that, I kind of wanted to show you that in the beginning. But let's go to the HDRPS, the other model. And we'll see what the HDRPS does. I think the timing. HDRPS a little stronger with the dry air. It's the 18Z run. Holds the rain off until mainly after, say, 7 or 8 o'clock, is I think wishful thinking. And then the heavier rain comes in toward Thursday morning. So HDRPS a little slower, all right? I'm not buying that because the rain's already fairly close. If we look at the radar here, we already have it's already raining in Pennsylvania, so this rain is pretty close. I don't see how this is not going to get here. You can see this batch of rain here that's going to be with us again most of the day tomorrow. Again, it's not. It's got this lumbering low pressure system. All right, a little lumbering low pressure system here. So we'll take a look and see what the HDRPS seems a little less intense with the rainfall. Let's go to the total. Oh, what's going on here? Hopefully this didn't just go down on me. It might have just gone down. Here we go. All right. I'll show you that in a little bit, but this is the HDRPS. Not quite as robust with the rain. Again, I'm not buying this solution. I don't think that's what we're going to see at all. All right. We'll go to the European now. Take a look at the European is showing again. Well, the European is sort of similar to the HDRPS, interestingly enough, holding off the rain. Again, I'm not sure. I don't really agree with this, having the heavier rain off to the southwest and having it occur later. So again, if we look at this, you'll see that you don't really start seeing that rainfall accumulation until later tomorrow night. Oh, I wish. It all depends on the strength of this dry air. That's what it is, and I don't know. I think it's a little weaker than some of these models are showing. So I think tomorrow night's just going to wind up being rainy and miserable. It was starting in the afternoon, late afternoon hours. All right, we'll go to the European. We'll look at the dew points and wind flow as well to show you, again, this system here. So here's the dew points and wind flow. You can see, you can definitely see there's a low pressure circulation there over us on Thursday. And then as we get to Friday, you can see we try to get some drier air in, but this front just kind of washes out. And then the second low forms along it, and that's the next round of rain for Saturday night. All right. Not Saturday, Friday night. All right. So we can go to the 24-hour accumulated precip. We can show you the second round here, because I think this is going to be a little more impressive here. So I think that you're going to see more like 1 to 2, more of a widespread 1 to 2 inches. However, this could overperform too. That's a more powerful storm. I'm going to take one storm at a time. We'll focus on the first storm, and then we'll talk about the next storm to deal with Thursday night probably. Let's go to RGEM, and we can also look at this as well. RGEM also kind of brings the rain, and it kind of holds it back a little bit too. So whatever the case is, but you can see it's much further into PA than these models are showing. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant in saying, oh, you're going to be okay until like after 8 o'clock. I think you're going to be dealing with rain starting around 3, 4 o'clock. And then that's going to continue, and then it kind of comes on and out, and then this is the next system here that we'd have to deal with. Now, for us, cloud cover, you're not seeing the sun tomorrow. We're socked in, all right? No sunshine tomorrow. For Thursday, maybe a break toward the early evening hours. A little bit of a break, and then Friday we go right back into it again. And then that would be the next storm system to deal with Friday. That will be the next question mark. How early does that rain start? Does it ruin your Friday night? So that is the question that we are dealing with right now. One more model we can look at here, Icon. This is the Icon, and again, it tends to be stronger with that dry area, which again I'm not buying. Again, because if we rewind this back to right there this time, this doesn't look like what we got on the radar right now. All right, maybe it sort of does, but it's a little bit further into PA than this is showing. It does sort of look like it though, so maybe we get lucky tomorrow. Maybe, but I'm not too hopeful, especially seeing the trend in the short range models here. The HRRR kind of, again, we can kind of show you the different runs of the HRRR, right? So, all right, this is 23Z. You can see rain over us, but if I back it off to the 19Z model, yeah, look at the, oh, that doesn't go as far. If I back it off to the 23Z model, let's do that. Let's see, 23Z, 0Z. All right, it looks like it's a little bit... I don't have the 12Z to look at, but I know, I mean, the 18Z definitely had it slower. So it seems like it's come in a little faster. So probably not going to be a dry night tomorrow. It'll probably be wet starting in the early evening hours. So that's what we're looking like. Maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. But I seriously doubt that we are going to get lucky at this point. Okay, I'm going to go to the home on this. See, current storms. All right, there's an Invest 90E. All right, this is off the Pacific coast. Okay. Maybe this is the storm they're talking about, maybe. I don't know. They were saying Gulf, but I think they mean that area. But again, tropics not really an issue right now. For I mean, if it's the Pacific, I don't really follow that. NHC. Yeah, I'd have to go to the other one. Let's see. Eastern Pacific. I think this is the area they're talking about. So, yeah, this is the area that's got 100%. So, it's Pacific Storm. Okay, it's a Pacific Storm. Okay, so I got mixed up with that. But this is a Pacific Storm. And that is still kind of early. It's only late May. But, anyway, let's go and talk about the Climate Prediction Center outlook here for the rest of May. 6 to 10 day outlook does have temperatures above normal and precipitation below normal. Well, this actually goes to June. So this is already June. So actually, no, this doesn't even cover May because I know the precipitation definitely won't be below normal. But we do see a warmer trend. So we'll talk about all this stuff when I go over the end of May. Over the weekend, we'll go over that. But we got to get through this first storm first. And again, you can see this lumbering system that we've got. Smoke up there. I don't know if that smoke's going to come down here or not, but if we get a flow from this area, we will probably wind up getting into some of that haze. So hopefully you enjoyed the blue skies, even though we had the mix with clouds. We had nice blue sky. We could be dealing with a lot of haze come next week. If it depends on how that all sets up. Right now, it's way too early to tell. So with that, that wraps up this Memorial Weekend, end of May review, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. We got to watch for again this next rain system. 2 waves of rain coming, 2 more waves of rain to wrap up a very wet May.